We will enact trade deals that result in more products proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Now, America lost. This is hard to believe, because if you think, how could it possibly be true? But this is what happened. Probably it's the reason, number one reason I'm running. America lost 60,000 factories under the previous administration. 60,000. You wouldn't believe that's possible, but I know it's true because I've said it 50 times, and the fakers back there, they've never corrected me. No, it's true. No, it's true. If I was slightly off, if I was off by 2 factories, there'd be a headline, Donald Trump told a fib. Donald Trump gets to be a Pinocchio again. Now, think of it. 60,000 factories, plants and factories closed. They went to Mexico. They went to China. The 60,000, it's not even, take a look at a map and put 60,000 little tacks. I mean, you wouldn't believe it could be that many, but it is. It's 60,000 closed, gone. They're all coming back. They're all coming back. And I took us out of that horrible Paris Accord. I always say, how you doing with the Paris Accord? Don't ask. Saved trillions and trillions of dollars. That was put in there to hurt us, in my opinion. It was put in there to hurt us. We were paying money to India. We were paying money to China. China's didn't kick in till 2030. We kicked in immediately. We had to pay money. Russia kicked in they kicked in before. They were 1996. That was a very dirty period of air. So they didn't have, we kick in now, and it's just unacceptable. We would have spent trillions and trillions of dollars. We would have had to close up, I think, at least 25 to 30% of our businesses. Who the hell would make a deal like that, right? Who would make a deal like that? No, how unfair. You look at Russia, you look at China, you look at India, they all got these massive breaks. We got no breaks, and we're paying money. And I say sometimes to France, how are the yellow vests working out? Because they don't like raising their taxes and sending the money to faraway places that they never heard of. So we are in good shape. It took a certain amount of courage to do that. I said, I'm going to get killed on this one. And you know what? I did it, and I was applauded, because the people get it. The people know what we're doing, and they're tired of being ripped off by the rest of the world. They're tired of being ripped off by the rest of the world. For decades, career politicians promised to defend the workers of Ohio, and then they went to Washington and voted for the same globalist policies that devastated your communities and chipped away your jobs. You know that better than anybody. Ohio knows that. But the betrayal of Ohio workers and U.S. workers ended the day I took the oath of office. And you see that because you're setting records. I immediately canceled the Obama administration's job-killing catastrophe, which would have dealt a death blow to the United States auto industry, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It was a disaster. That was going to be worse than NAFTA. NAFTA, I always say the worst deal. I think that would have been worse. It would have taken the car industry. It would have taken many of your industries. That was a setup for the United States to get fleeced. The USMCA will save the American auto industry and create over 100,000 new auto jobs, and our factories will not be closing and moving to other faraway lands. We'll keep them right here if that's okay. And that's going to include, because we take care of our great auto workers of Toledo, the home of Jeep. How good is Jeep? And I've taken the toughest ever action against China's chronic trade abuses, including tariffs on $370 billion worth of Chinese-made goods, bringing billions and billions of dollars into our treasury. And I gave some of that money because they were targeted to our farmers. And our farmers did just fine. And now the deal is done and the other deals are done. And the farmers are doing very well. We love our farmers. And they never complained. They never complained. You know, when they'd go, the fake news back there, they'd go and they'd talk to the farmers. What do you think of President Trump? China is deciding not to buy anymore. And this, he said, you know what the farmers would say? We're going to have to suffer for a while because China and these other nations have been ripping us off for years. The president is right, and we're with the president. How great are they? How great are they? But our strong action paid off, and we'll sign that terrific and fully enforceable Phase 1 trade deal with China. And again, we're keeping the tariffs on because we'll use that for another one. We are taking billions. Remember what I said? We're not paying for it because China devalued their currency and they put a lot of money into the pot. We're not paying for it. And now they're starting to say, I guess he was right. And our trade deficit, as a result, has really come substantially down. It was just in the papers today. The trade deficit has come down. As a result of our actions, steel mills all across Ohio, you know this better than I do, are roaring back to life. JSW Steel is investing $500 million in Mingo Junction. Republic Steel is reopening the Lorraine mill that they idled in 2016. Charter Steel is building a $150 million mill in Cuyahoga Heights, and Nucor is investing $85 million at a facility in Marion, Ohio. Think of that. Think of that. The steel industry was dead, and now it's vibrant. All told, American steel companies are currently making $13 billion worth of new investments all across our nation. Think of that. They weren't investing 10 cents. The industry was dead. Now it's vibrant. After years of rebuilding other nations, we are finally rebuilding our nation. We are finally putting America first. But while we are creating jobs and killing terrorists, the Washington Democrats are wasting America's time with demented hoaxes and crazy witch hunts. Think of it. From the day I came down that escalator, it started. Who the hell else could have taken this stuff, right? Do I get some credit for that? Most guys would have been in a corner with their thumb in their mouth, saying, Mommy, Mommy, take me home. These are bad people. The Democrat politicians we're fighting today are the same ones who took a sledgehammer to Ohio jobs and factories. They destroyed your factories, they destroyed your jobs. But they're losing, and we're winning, and America's comeback continues full speed ahead.